Hey, welcome and good morning, everyone, to our Isagenix Grow Week Friday call. By a raise of hands, please show if you are happy to be here today and you want to be here. In the chat, in the Zoom, fantastic. Love it. Okay. Again, by a raise of hands, how many of you out there ever had someone that you thought, oh, they don't want the business, they're well-to-do, like they've got the money, why do they want to get their products paid for? Like, raise your hand, by raise of hands. Ever thought that way, felt that way? Yes, Robin, Cassandra, I see your hands. Fantastic. How about, oh, you know what? This industry is for women. Or, you know what? My husband or her husband has no interest in network marketing and selling nail varnish. Raise your hands. Anyone? Anyone? Fantastic. Great. So today, our two speakers are proof of how not true that is. And we have a duo today. So double the fun, double the energy. Before we get going, I want to go ahead and acknowledge two sets of people. First and foremost, you the leader, you the member, showing up each and every day this week and today, wanting to make yourself better, but also to help grow your team and to bring your prospects on board. So thank you, each and every one of you for being here. And secondly, one of my colleagues, an absolute legend, without his work ethic, without his drive behind the scenes, Christopher Nish, Director of Sales for Field Training, and also the Northeast. Please give Nish some love, because without him, this would not be possible either. So by show of hands, clap of hands, Chris Nish, yeah, buddy. He's got the same shirt that I have, so he's a stud. Okay, so today's call is all about systems, right? Duplication, systems, the art of building deep, developing consultants that want to be consultants to executive and beyond. So but that's what you want to hear. You're in the right place. Some agreements today. Be open. Take notes, but remember, this call is being recorded, so you can replay it. So don't be so engrossed in taking notes and listen to what these two geniuses have to say. Play it 100%. Go in, because this training is going to be lights out. Many people have heard them before, but the more and more you hear them, the more and more you learn. But more importantly, have fun, right? In the chat, interact in the chat, give some love to your peers, give some love to the trainers. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. And if we have time at the end of the call, we'll try and get those questions answered. One disclaimer though, you're gonna hear some business talk today. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that you're gonna make $1 million tomorrow. What we're going to show you is the possibility of what is out there and what could be done with hard work and just keeping it simple. All right, enough of Cal. Oh yeah, my name's Cal, and I'm a Director of Sales for the US Pacific and Canada. Okay, enough of me. Let's go right into our duo. Our first guy, and listen up. He joined October 16th of last year. Okay, October 16th of last year, by his incredible enrolling sponsor, Christy DeLeon. He had his first Zoom call October 23rd, a week later. He got to Crystal Director in 3 weeks. So November 15th, Crystal Director. 2 weeks later, November 29th, Crystal Executive. That's 5 weeks after joining. February 7th is when he started building his team, or he got results from his team. His first Crystal Executive he developed personally, February 7th. Alison Perez Van Gordon, if you're out there, congratulations. His second personally enrolled Crystal Executive on March the 4th. Fatima Font, if you are out there, congratulations. April 18th, his third personally enrolled Crystal Executive, Ruthie Pena. Ruthie, if you're out there, congratulations. I know you're out there. Of course you're out there. And April 25th, his fourth personally enrolled Crystal Executive, Kendra Thrash. Kendra, if you're out there, congratulations. And again, this is Cami doing it, what he's going to be showing you today, building that system, working that system, and just making it simple. In those 6 months, he has a team of 562 people. That doesn't mean that he's personally enrolled 500 people. He's personally enrolled 25 people during that time, 1 person a week. So he's enrolled 1 person a week, and he's already in the trenches with his business. So think about that. Doesn't mean that you have to enroll 1,000 people to get where you are, right? So again, building deep. A little bit personal about Cami. So he says he's lived 4 lives. 4 lives, and he's still so young. Look, born in Miami, high school in LA, college in Atlanta, and now he resides in South Carolina, or on an airplane, like going out there helping people, right? He was born to teenage parents, and he loves football. He's played football his whole life, but his biggest accomplishment over anything else are his 2 kids. He's a single dad to Nadia, who's 10, and Joshua, who is 7. So please give it up for Cami Smith. Some hands together. Cami, welcome, bud. Digging your shirt too. Okay, and then our second speaker. I mean, I could go on about this speaker, but you know what? I'm going to try and keep it short, but give her the love and respect. She's very passionate, right? Passionate about helping people. She loves supporting anyone and everyone that wants to succeed. She's a phone call away from anyone that needs that bit of love. She's not only supporting her team, but she supports other teams too. Case in point today, supporting the entire company. She inspires me each and every day wanting to do better when I see her on social media or we have a quick voice chat. So she's been with us 5.5 years. 5.5 years, and she's been a top 20 leader in action multiple times. She rank advanced from consultant to 3-star golden circle in her first year. Pretty much what Cami's doing right now, right? Again, duplication, the system. She's earned 6 figures in her first full year at Isagenix. So November 15th through October 16th, she had earned 6 figures in that 12-month time frame. She retired from her career as a school psychologist within 6 months of building the Isagenix business. Again, we are not telling you, and we will never tell you to quit your day job. Don't do that. I'm showing you what she has done, and she's been incredible. She has created 8 personally enrolled executives. Personally enrolled executives. Now, Cami is not her personally enrolled. She's her 2 PET. But it goes to show with Cami and with Christy, they develop executives everywhere. She has created a total of 18 executives in her downline. And the system, I'm going to teach you today, has helped her develop 10 executives since March of last year. 10, right? She's a member of Start 1000, ISA Derby winner, top achievers for Maui. She was the 17th fastest growing on her team, top achievers for Fiji. Her current rank is 4-star golden circle, 8-star crystal executive. By the way, Cami just hit 2-star in 6 months. So again, in the chat, give love to Cami for hitting 2-star. Family is the most important thing to this incredible lady. She's married to Rich, who's a very successful attorney in his own right. He owns and manages a law firm nationally. And she, like Cami, 2 kids of a love of her life, her 2 boys, Leo and Lucas. And she is living her dream right now in San Diego. So please welcome, take it away, Sonia Mahfouz.
All right. Thank you so much, Cal. That was such a nice introduction. I'm so excited to be here. And so I am sure that as you heard what Cami Smith has been able to do in his first 6 months, I know what you're thinking. I need to go find a Cami Smith, right? I think that that's just kind of the thought that we all have when we see and hear these brand new success stories. And I certainly have had those thoughts throughout the years. And before we learn from Cami, before we hear about his story, I'm here to set the stage. I'm here to share with you the systems that our team is using so that when a gem like Cami Smith shows up into your life or shows up into your organization, you know exactly what to do, and you know how to show the opportunity and how to show someone who's already successful that this vehicle is worth their time and effort. So just to give you a little bit of background, Cal said a little bit about my story. And yes, I have been with Isagenix. It'll be 6 years in July, which is so crazy to think about. I was a school psychologist before Isagenix. Like Cal said, my husband's an attorney, and we were both 2 busy professionals running full speed in different directions, exhausted all the time. We were starting to experience some financial freedom, but we certainly didn't have time freedom. And that's when Isagenix came into my life. I had an amazing experience with the nutrition. I literally felt like I swallowed a rainbow. I was lit up. And if you came within 6 feet of me, you were going to sign up for Isagenix, and I was going to get you paid once I understood how the compensation plan works. So our first 3 years in Isagenix were fast and furious, and we had a lot of success. And then around year 3, things kind of settled. And, maybe there's somebody on here that is at year 3 and can relate to that. And in any business, you're going to have ups and downs, and life is going to happen and all the things. So around year 3, I got really busy with a new baby. We bought our dream house. A lot of life happened. And my Isagenix business was definitely still there, but we were just kind of, what would be the word? Just, I wouldn't say, we were just, Cal, help me. At 3 years, I just felt like it just settled, right? And I started to think, okay, what do I need to do in this next stage of my business? And I just really reflected on what was working, what wasn't working. And one of the things that I was noticing was that throughout my team, if somebody got in front of me, they were here for years later for both the nutrition, the business, but that wasn't always duplicating. And so I was thinking, like, what am I doing that is not duplicating within my team? And I really took some time to reflect on that. And again, I'm being really honest and being really transparent, because I know that there's probably somebody on this line that feels the same way. Maybe you're at year 2, year 3, you had a lot of excitement and things moved really fast. And then there's always going to be a moment when you need to reevaluate, reflect on what's working and what's not working, and change things up, right? And so what I knew that I was doing was these 3 things were always a part of how I got people started with Isagenix. I was always sharing my Isagenix story. I was always doing a brief consultation that looked like this. I asked them what their goals were. I would go through what they were doing for breakfast, lunch, dinner, their snacks, their vitamins. And I would show them how Isagenix was just going to reallocate their food money, and they were going to reach their goals. And then the third part was I always showed people how our compensation plan worked. And I always did those 3 things, you guys, in that initial phone call, in that initial consultation. I mean, it was my go-to. And if you have ever been to University in Action with David Wood, that's literally what he trains on. Like, those are the 3 things that you need to master: how to tell your Isagenix story, how to show people that we are just helping them reallocate their food money and they're going to feel amazing on Isagenix. And you have to show the compensation plan. How do you expect to attract business builders if you're not showing the money? So I knew that I was doing that, and I assumed that everyone else was doing that. But as I dug in, I started to realize that as things moved farther down the levels from me, that was not always happening, right? A lot of times, orders were being taken via text messages. People were never getting on the phone. They never heard the Isagenix story. They never heard anything about the business. And then the famous response of, nobody wants to build a business with me. Raise your hand or share in the chat if you feel like nobody wants to build an Isagenix business with me. And just be honest, you guys, because this is something that I hear a lot. I had people on my team that had enrolled 100 people, and they would tell me that no one wanted to build an Isagenix business with them. That is mathematically impossible. So, knowing all these things, you guys, 18 months ago, I really pushed my team to follow those 3 things for the system. This became very systematic within our team. I encouraged my team that no matter what, when somebody reached out to you about Isagenix, those 3 things were non-negotiable. So again, just to repeat them, Isagenix story, and you guys literally Google Isagenix 30-second story, you'll find a template on how you should be sharing your Isagenix story, and it should only be about 90 seconds. I know the recommendation is 30 seconds, but I struggle with that. 90 seconds, not 30 minutes, right? You guys, your story, your conviction sells more than anything. You can send all the videos, you can send all the videos about Cami, myself, but at the end of the day, we're strangers. Your friends and family, they want to hear from you. So your Isagenix story is so important, and you have an Isagenix story, even if you got started 24 hours ago, right? And if you haven't reached the goals yet, whether it's nutrition or financial, then your conviction of where you're going is going to be a lot of that story, right? I know that Isagenix is going to help me reach this goal. So your Isagenix story, the second component, again, that consultation of what are your goals? What are you doing for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and getting that budget of how they're spending their food money so that then you can recommend the value pack. On our team, we sell value packs all the time, because most people are spending $20 per day on breakfast, lunch, snacks, Starbucks runs, right? And then again, the compensation part. Now for the compensation part, we focus on 2 things. We focus on short-term referral bonuses, and we write out up to Crystal Manager. If you know me, you know I always have a whiteboard within 3 feet away from me. I even have a whiteboard in my car, just in case. So Crystal Manager, referral bonuses, and then I talk about long-term residual income. There are so many components to our compensation plan, but I focus on those 2 because that really talks to the spectrum of people who may be joining your team, right? Some people really are coming to you to be customers, and those referral bonuses will be important, and having an accountability partner might be more realistic to what they're wanting or willing to do. But still always show the long-term residual opportunity, you guys, because you never know. If you knew me before Isagenix, there's no way I would have been on your list of someone that you would think would do the business. And I'm so fortunate. Laura Stevens was there to show me the big picture and the big money. Referral bonuses were not going to move me. I needed to hear the big opportunity. So that's why I really encourage my team to do both. Talk about the referral bonuses, but also talk about the long-term money, the residual income. So we really started pushing that 18 months ago. And again, totally being honest and transparent here. The first 6 months, there was a lot of kicking and screaming from my team. Every time I would ask them how it was going, they were still telling me that they were doing the things that they were doing before, and they weren't really doing the Zoom call that I was encouraging. So March 2020 happened and everything shifted, and we really got serious with this, what we call initial Zoom call consultation. And I was like, you guys, like, we can't leave our homes. Start scheduling those Zoom calls and do these 3 things. You guys, after people started really incorporating this into their business, within about 3 months, we had 5 new Crystal executives in our organization. 4 of them had been stuck at Crystal Manager for a couple of years. So it could be a coincidence, but I think implementing the system might have had something to do with it. Then after that, so now we're onboarding everybody using the same system, right? So after that, since March of 2020, 5 Crystal executives who had been with us for years, and then 5 more Crystal executives who came brand new after March 2020, they experienced this type of initial consultation Zoom call, and then we're duplicating it within their teams. So that's the part that I really wanted to set the stage for, because that really has been a game changer for our team. So now, before I introduce Cami Smith and before he shares his story, how we use this with him. So like Cal said, Cami was enrolled by Christy DeLeon. Christy DeLeon is a Crystal executive and a friend of mine on our team. And I know for a fact, she also did this with him. I know for a fact he was not ready to hear it, because he said, girl, I'm not selling no shakes. But he heard it and he started using Isagenix, and you'll hear more about the details on that. But one of the other things that I do with our team is we have a team support page. And anytime somebody new gets introduced to our team page, I friend everybody, because I want to know who's coming into our team. And I do a quick scan to see, who is this? What are they doing? And within a quick scan of Cami Smith, I said, who is that? He looks influential. How do we get him representing Isagenix? So I did ask Christy, what's the story? What's going on with him? He had been using Isagenix for about 2 weeks. He had amazing results. And Christy wasn't too sure. I mean, Christy was like, I think, he might refer some people, but I'm not too sure on, what he's going to be open to and whatnot. And so I said, Christy, do you mind if I reach out to him and just introduce myself to him and do the Zoom call? And she was like, go for it. So I sent Cami. And so clue, pay attention to who's coming into your organization. Look for those gems or the blue M&Ms, like Jessica Regner always says, and get in front of them, right? I knew that Christy had already shared the same information, but there's power in third-party validation, right? And there's power in hearing it again after you feel like you swallowed a rainbow. So I sent Cami a message, and I literally just said, Cami, congratulations on how much Isagenix is working for you. I would love to schedule a Zoom call. I just want to introduce myself, and I want to make sure that I show you everything that's available at Isagenix. He said, sounds good, which was great because he's open-minded. That's always a good thing when someone's even willing to get on the phone with you. So we did a Zoom call, and I did the exact same thing, you guys. I knew that he was already using Isagenix, but I still did those 3 things. I shared my Isagenix story. I shared what Isagenix had done for me these last 6 years. I did a quick overview of how we're just showing people how to reallocate their food money, and how we're just showing people how to use Isagenix, and it really is their same food budget money. And then I showed him the comp plan, and he's a business guy, and he literally said, this math makes a lot of sense. And so that's literally what got going, you guys. And then we did the same Zoom call with his first 16 phone calls. And out of those 16, so we did it as a third party type of way. So Christy and I, because again, you guys, Cami was brand new and we needed to get him paid fast. And so instead of saying, go learn all the things, we said, get us on the phone with your people and watch. And the idea was always that he would see how we do it. We would model it.
Cal, I think
we've lost Sonia for a little bit here. She may have froze.
Would get him paid. Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Now, okay. So I knew we had to get him paid. I knew we had to show him the money. The faster he got paid, the more invested he would be and the more willing he would be to learn the things, right? And then we duplicated with his team, and here he is with 4 executives under him. So Cal did such a great job of introducing him. I won't repeat all the things, but I will say just a little bit about him. Again, you guys, he has been with us for 6 months. In 6 months, he has helped 4 of his leaders hit Crystal Executive. He hit Crystal Executive in 5 weeks and kept that rank every single minute, has never lost his Crystal Executive rank. We expect 2 more executives in the next month or 2. His goal is to have a total of 10 personal Crystal Executives by the end of the year. He is lighting Isagenix on fire, and I am so excited for you to hear from him.
Aw. I can't wait to meet you, Sonia.
I know, we've never met in person, which is so crazy.
Thank you so much. I need everybody right now just to show some love in the chat. If you wish that you had found you a Sonia Mahfouz when you got started, show Sonia some love, please. Thank God. I thank God every day for Christy DeLeon and Sonia Mahfouz. I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. And everything that she said about the systems, guys, is exactly what I was attracted to. I believe that systems are the magic in any organization. And when I got here, what I saw in Sonia was that, number one, she's brilliant, a brilliant mind. I was fascinated by the partnership that her and Christy had built. If you don't know Christy DeLeon, I'd love to get her on this call. But she's the most patient person I've ever met in my entire life. Okay. I've never met a more patient person than Christy. And guess what? I needed that. I needed somebody to be patient and say, okay, Cam, all right, okay, you know. And so I feel very much that this has been a major blessing, not just, Isagenix, of course, I'll talk about that, but I think the beauty and the blessing is that who you get to do business with, who you get to do business with. The smartest thing that I ever did was decide to get in business with Sonia and Christy. I wanted to be in business with them. And so, Sonia, tell me what you want me to talk about. And wait. We did prepare for the call, but it's like, that feeling, Sonia, when you get on the call and there's an energy, right? And there's kind of like this, there's an energy, oozing off the Zoom, right? And then you're talking about this and that. You know how my mind works. There's like a million directions I can go in. And ultimately, my goal and my desire is that this call not necessarily motivate, although motivation's important, but we'd rather be inspired, right? We want that to come from within. I don't necessarily desire to motivate as much as I'd love to clarify. I'd love to simplify. I do believe that what holds so many people back is that they're still just confused. They're overthinking things. They're trying to figure it out minute by minute, week by week, month by month. And it's like, dude, at some point, you just gotta pull the trigger, right? If you stay in aim mode, you will aim until you die. Ready, aim, fire. Successful people, Cal, they don't aim and aim and aim and aim and aim until they hit the target. They have to shoot. And if they're off, they recalibrate and shoot again. And so there is a part of, my desire for today's call that when you walk away from this and you get off this Zoom, that you feel and all of the minutia and all of the webs feel like they've subsided. And now you can run with what you know, as opposed to walk with what you don't. Does that make sense? So, but before I do that, Sonia, as far as guiding the conversation, the direction, quarterback it for me.
So Cammie and I love to talk, and we could be here all day with you guys. So we really try to prepare and organize to keep it at a good time. So the first thing that we would love, Cammie, to hear from you is really your Isagenix story. I mean, Cal and I have said a little bit about it, but if you could share kind of like what was going on in your life before Isagenix, your perspective of how Isagenix came into your life, because it's a lot more entertaining than how I share it. And, and then why you said yes to Isagenix, you know, your perspective and all of it.
Sure. So I'll start in college. I played football at a very small school in Atlanta called Morehouse College. You probably never heard of it. And I dropped out of school my sophomore year, and I knew that I wanted to be in business for myself. I ended up spending 17 years in the insurance business. That's my background, and built a few agencies, was able to pay some bills, and, it was fun. But I think what I found early on was that making an amount of money really is not and should not be our goal. What helped me, Cal, go from frustrated to free was when I understood the power of leverage. Okay. I was making a lot of money, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't content. And it seemed like every January 1st, I had to start all over again. And so I wasn't gaining any ground in terms of becoming financially free in America. So I understood at the age of 28 that, what was keeping me frustrated was that all of my income was self-driven as opposed to system-driven. When I understood the power of system-driven income and the power of leverage, that's when things began to change for me. And so let's just fast forward to 2020. And it was, again, one of the toughest years that a lot of people have faced, right? I think I turned 40 last summer. So I'm the market crash of 2008, I'm 9/11, and I'm 2020, right? Those three chapters of American history I lived through, right? 2020 was, I think, emotionally probably the most difficult of the three. Of course, we all saw what happened in 9/11. We went through the market crash, which was crazy financially, and credit, crunch and all that stuff. But 2020 just felt different. Emotionally, it felt different. And so, I packed on some weight, stuck at home, wrestling with my son all day long. And it was just like, something's got to give, right? And so I finally was able to get on a plane. I flew back to California. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I flew back to California to see my daughter. And I ran into my best friend from high school. His name is Mike DeLeon, and his wife, Christy. I think she's on the call today. And we were just having, just regular friendly conversation. And I was expressing just, how unhappy I was with my weight. And Christy, that was all she needed to hear. And she didn't let me out of her sights. She told me that she could help me. And just like Sonia said, I said, nah, I ain't doing this whole shake thing. Thank you. I was respectful, but I declined. I respectfully declined 5 times. She was the most persistent. And she texted me. Of course, I got back to Charlotte after I left, and, hey, I really think I could help you. Give me a time frame where you feel like you can settle back in. I was like, golly, okay. And so I said, all right, 2 weeks, whatever. Long story short, the 5th time she called me, I'm not kidding. I remember I was sitting at my desk and I thought to myself, I'm going to block this girl's number. That's the only shot I got of her leaving me alone, But then I remembered, this is my best friend's wife. I can't. So the only option left was to buy it. All right, So I went ahead and I bought the value pack. And then, of course, after I spent the money, the box arrived. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I decided, all right, I spent the money. I'm gonna put it in my body. And dude, I'm telling you, in 16 days, I lost 13 pounds. And it just so happened, I'm in California every 60 days to visit my daughter. So it just so happened that at that time, I was scheduled to go back. So I get back to California. I'm down 13 pounds. I've been on the program 16 days. I took a few pictures with a buddy of mine. And then as I was getting on the plane, Cal, back to Charlotte, it was the first time I saw the pictures that we took while I was in California visiting. And I'm sitting on the plane. And I don't know if when you guys travel, like that's my peace and quiet. I love getting on a plane without this mask situation. That's a whole other story. So I'm on the plane. I've got my phone. I'm looking at pictures, and I saw one of the pictures, and I was like, bro, I look pretty good. Like I was really excited about this picture. And I was like, wow, this stuff really is, I mean, really working, you know? And so I land, and about 4 or 5 days later, you know, I decided to I was feeling like we were coming out of this 2020 deal, right? It's like October, you know, please God, not 2 more months, right? Not, you know, so I posted this motivational, inspirational, let's finish the year strong kind of post. I posted that picture. It was not about weight loss. The post was not about weight loss. It was just about, let's finish 2020 as strong as we possibly can. We're in the 4th quarter of the year. And then at the bottom of the page, it's just crazy. And I say this stuff like this because I believe that this is a God thing. At least it is for me. Because there's so many things that happened that couldn't have happened unless it was a God thing. I couldn't have made it happen. Who scripted this, right? I didn't plan it. Now, I've tried to do things that didn't work. This one I was just running away from, and it just like chased me down. So I made the post. And then at the very bottom of the post, I simply said, ready for this? Thank you, Christy, my ISA angel, for helping me get rid of this, you know, drop this COVID weight. That's all I said. I'm talking, this post, Cal, was like 1,000 words. Whatever. It was a lot of words. And one line with like 9 words mentioning Christy, shouting her out because she helped me get on the program. And would you believe, somebody from high school, her name is Allison Perez, saw this post. Apparently she read it. She scrolled all the way down to the bottom. She saw that Christy De Leon helped me, and I guess figured out that Christy's husband and I and Allison went to high school together. Reaches out to Christy and says, I don't know what you got Cam on, but I need some help. 2020 is kicking my butt. So she takes her order. And this, Sonia, is what you've always highlighted. And Christy calls me, Cal, and she says, I need you to do me a favor. I was like, what's up? He said, I need you to log into your site and click the associate button. And I said, woman, I ain't selling no shakes. Get you know, leave me alone. She's like, you don't understand. You don't understand. You just made $200. I was like, tell me more. Tell me more about that. Anyway, long story short, I logged in, and then, you know, took the order, but she could have enrolled her herself, is my point. And the reason why Sonia always highlights that. And I know a lot of people probably would have done that, but anyway, so I went ahead and put Allison's order in, and then I called, I think eventually I called Allison. I was like, what's up? You know, she's like, dude, I mean, I'm 20, 25 pounds, whatever it is, overweight. I saw the post and I need to drop some weight, whatever. So then pick up where Sonia was talking about how she, you know, she called me, she stalked my Facebook and was like, dude, I think you can get rich doing this. I was like, really? And so we had our Zoom call, and I literally, Cal, said, it's too good to be true. Now, I've been counting since I was 2, okay? I've been counting since I was 2 years. Like, I'm telling you, the math made too much sense. I was like, there's no way that this can produce that. No way, I don't believe it. And so she took it a step further. She got me on the call with someone that was very influential in the company and reiterated the same thing. And I literally got off the phone. I was like, I will do it. I will do it just to prove them wrong. I said, there's no way. Y'all are selling me a bill of goods. I just, I'm bored. I'll do it anyway, right? And so I literally got off the phone. I want to say that was a Friday. I got off the phone and I made 4 phone calls to some friends of mine. And I called them up secretly, Cal, secretly. I just wanted to see what they were going to say. Because it made so much sense to me, but I'm a serial optimist. I see the glass full. It could be one drop in there and I'm like, God can fill it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just that type of optimist, and I see the good in just about everything. And so I said to myself, you know, if I jump into this thing and I've lost my mind, what have I lost? Okay, got it. No big deal. Let me get some of my friends on and see what they think. So I called 4 of my friends and I said, hey, I need to tell you something. I need to talk to you about something. And I said, I don't know, did you see that post that I posted, you know, a few weeks ago, whatever? The one with the gray jeans and the burgundy polo. And I was like, yeah, I think I did see it. I said, listen, I lost 16 pounds, 13 pounds in 16 days. And I spoke with somebody from this company and they're saying that we can make some real money doing this. I said, listen, I need you to take a look at this. You got to take a look at it. You got to take a look at it. And they're like, okay. And so I said, all right, I'll text you back in a few minutes. I text Christy, I text Sonia. I said, hey, I've got somebody I need to talk to. They're like, all right, set it up. Got the time, introduced them on a Zoom. I was like, hey, Sonia, this is my friend. Hey, friend, this is Sonia Christy. And I shut up. I was smart enough to just shut up. I didn't know what was going on. All I said was I lost some weight and here's the deal. And Sonia did her consultation. And in that one day, all 4 of them, that's right, John, use your upline. All 4 of them enrolled. And Sonia said, you know, you made a couple $1,000s. And I was like, well, I'm going to get rich here. It's just crazy talk. And so, so I called in total, we called 16 people in 5 weeks. I think 13 of them enrolled and 10 of them became consultants in a 5-week run. And I didn't realize, you know, that it was a big deal back then. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my upline. You know, I told Sonia, I said, Sonia, if you would have told me to do it in 2 weeks, I'd have done it in 2 weeks, you know, like, come on. All kidding aside. And then shortly thereafter, I want to say probably was about a good, God, Sonia had been on me hard to start posting on social media. I'm trying to think about the early days, Sonia. 6 months, we've been here 6 months. I'm talking about the early days. I want to say after, you know, she'd been on me hard. She'd been on me hard to post on social media, but I just really wasn't, you know, what's so funny? I tell my team this all the time. So after I hit executive, I held a conference call that night or like maybe a few nights after. And there are a few of them are on here. They can testify to this. But I got them on the phone after after I'd been recognized for hitting executive. And I told them, I was like, y'all, I think I'm really going to do this. I think I'm really going to do this. They're like, what? We've been committed. What do you mean you think you're going to do it? I was just like, I don't know, but I think I'm really going to do it. And so my point is that even after hitting executive is when I made a bigger commitment because I hadn't posted on social media at all until after I hit executive. Because I was like, what if if I tell my network that this is what I'm doing and I end up not really doing it, then credibility is important, right? So I was just like, okay. And then once I hit executive, and I want to say that executive run from start to finish was about 10,000 or so in income in that 5-week run. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. And so then I called, again, some of my friends, et cetera. I was like, I really think I'm going to do this. And you know what, one at a time, like you gave the calendar dates, Cal, Allison popped out and she absolutely blitzed to executive. She was running and gunning. And then right after she did, I want to say it was probably a month or two later that Fatima Pardo, and she's also in the Charlotte area, project manager. And she did 2 single moms, absolutely killing it. And then right after that, Ruthie Pena up in Jersey, building a phenomenal organization. I think she did it right at the end of April, or right at the end of, whatever that was. And then Kendra did it in 6 weeks. So somebody that wasn't even a part of the organization until 6.5 weeks ago enrolled and 6 weeks later became an executive. I was like, what? And so it's really exciting. But again, when you talk about the requirements to growing an organization, Sonia had systems in place. And one thing I do want to add is, and if you're taking any notes, there's been years and years and years and years of seminars and conversations that I've had with mentors. And one thing that I think really changed the game for me many years ago was when I was told that it is not my job to make winners. It's not my job to make winners. It's my job to find them. That was a game changer for me because I thought for years that it was my job to make someone into a winner. It's impossible. And it wasn't until I gave that responsibility up and I lifted that pressure off my shoulders of trying to make a winner. And instead I focused on finding winners. Totally different lifestyle, totally different seminar, totally different approach to business. And what we have to focus on when it comes to finding winners is becoming the kind of leaders that winners are attracted to. Okay? Becoming the kind of leaders. So the goal is not to get somewhere, it's to become someone. Business growth always follows personal growth. And so the work that I did in my industry for a decade, for so long, and what some of you are probably doing and have done for so long, is I thought that the work produced the growth. Follow me on this thought for a second, okay? I thought that the working really hard, if I just work harder, Sonia, I'll get there. The work, I thought, produced the growth. And it really didn't. I mean, obviously, if I'm working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm going to hit a certain ceiling. But what really produced the growth was when I changed. So the work is not to grow. The work that we should be doing is the work of personal growth and development, right? Our work is to change. If you knew what you needed to know, you'd be where you want to be. If you were the leader that you needed to be, your business would be exploding. And that's not an offensive statement. That's a freeing statement. The bad news is I'm not the leader that I need to be. The good news is I can be, if I'm willing to put the work in to change. And so I spent years, I mean, come on, I didn't read a book from cover to cover until I was 27. And I'm talking personal development, mindset, attitude, systems, culture, leadership, John Maxwell. I mean, I devoured John Maxwell for years in order to raise my leadership lid, to raise my self-image. Here's another statement that's I think it's one of our foundational statements. You will never outgrow your self-image. You will never out-earn your self-image. Never. Your business will never outgrow your personal self-image. And it's not what you think of you, it's what you think other people see when they see you. You'll never outgrow that. And so I didn't have a very high self-image. It took me years to develop a high self-image. And then, of course, as that happened, my business began to grow and follow that. So, Sonia, I don't know if this is answering the question. I've got some notes from our prep time. I did say earlier, I said that you don't make winners, you find them. You don't make winners, you find them. Even that statement alone, as I say it slowly, it's a mindset shift happening right now. I don't make winners, I find them. But what we do is we develop those winners into leaders, okay? You don't make winners, you find them, and then you develop leadership, okay, which is a lifelong journey. All right, I do believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. You know, when I talk about Sonia Mahfouz, she is a leader. Yeah, we talk about the systems that she's put together and the systems that she has in place, but she herself is a leader. And Team Arrow and now Team Legacy, everything rises and falls on its leadership. The reason why we're growing is because we're focused on developing the leaders in our organization, right? So we're talking leadership to associates. We're talking leadership to consultants. We're talking leadership to managers. We don't say, oh, you hit executive, now let me talk about leadership. No, we talk about leadership day one. Why? Because everything rises and falls on leadership. I want every person, every winner that we find, I want to help them see the leader within themselves. And when they see themselves in that light, when they see themselves that way, then they build it because now they see themselves that way. A lot of the challenge with people when you find them, they may be winners, but they don't see themselves as leaders. So we help them see themselves as leaders and we help develop that leader within them and then let their God-given desire and passion and zeal for life and, their why drive them to how big they want to grow. Freedom, we all deserve to be free. And for the most part, most people have, bought into a life of bondage and, trading time for money. but I don't. Okay. I do focus. There's a book called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. I won't spend a ton of time on it, but there's something in that book that I've always held on to, and it's called lead measures, LEAD, lead measures versus lag measures. And it simply means that leaders, our job is not to be obsessed with the result, but our job is to be focused, and our primary role is to put the good stuff in. If we know that if we do the right things on the front end, the output will take care of itself. Okay. And so what happens for a lot of leaders is the 4 disciplines of execution. What happens is a lot of people they check in with the results, and if they don't see it moving fast enough, they get discouraged, they get depressed, they get down, etc., because the lag measures aren't happening as fast as they would like. Are y'all with me? Our job is to focus on the lead measures, which is the things that we do on a daily basis that we know, we believe, we trust, we have faith will lead us to the desired result, the end game. So it's good to check in, and it's good to measure how far down the line you're going, but don't get too connected to the result too early, or else you'll feel like you're not making any progress. The 4 disciplines of execution, okay? And it simply just talks about the daily discipline of the lead measures. If I focus on putting the good stuff in, I know that the good stuff will come out. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay? Just like with our nutrition, okay? I also wanted to mention that one of the things that I see up and coming leaders, a mistake that they make is that they think it's their job to motivate people. That is a draining reality. That is a draining life when all day long you feel like it's your job to motivate somebody. Even as I said that, didn't it sound tiring? Think about it. I got to motivate this guy today? No. You ever try to push a rope? Like lay the rope on the table and then push it and see if it'll move? You ever try to do that? The rope ain't going anywhere. And so it's not our job to go motivate. It's our job to clarify. Write that down. It's not our job to motivate. It's our job to clarify, because motivated people just need a clear path to run on, and confused people don't move. Confused people do not take action. And so it's our job to clarify. And what Sonia did for me early on was she literally wrote it and made it plain, just like in the Bible. Write the vision, make it plain so that people that want it can run with it. That's what it says. And so she wrote it down, she clarified it for me, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Listen, I told her last month, I said, I feel like I'm on an episode of Sesame Street. Like I'm just having fun with all my characters. Like it can't be this simple, right? Okay. Sonia's just helping?
Yes.
Okay.
I love the Sesame Street stuff.
I know you do. All right. Ask a question, Sonia.
Okay, so I just wanted to share a little bit something. So I'm sure, see, I can see it in the comments. Everybody loves you, Cami. And you're all thinking, I need to go find a Cami Smith, right? Can you all share? Yes, I need to go find a Cami Smith. And so that's why I started with setting the stage for what you need to do, how you need to show up to make sure that when those blue M&Ms come into your life or your organization, or I like to call them gems, that you are showing what's possible at Isagenix, you guys. Do you know what keeps me up at night? And Cami knows this. What keeps me up at night is that there could possibly be somebody in our organization who's drinking shakes every morning and loving Isagenix and has no idea what this business model looks like, how this compensation plan works, and someone hasn't done their job to share it. That's literally what keeps me up at night. And it's why I've been so passionate about making sure everybody's doing those 3 things: sharing their Isagenix story, sharing how they're just shifting their money, sharing the comp plan. I wanted to stress that again, because if you want to, I guarantee every single one of you has a gem in your life that will blow up your Isagenix business. You either know them, they're your friend, they're your friend's cousin in Australia, or they're already in your organization, but you haven't really shown them what's available at Isagenix, and you haven't shown them that this vehicle is worth their time and effort. So that's where that Zoom call comes in. So Cami, could you talk now about why Isagenix and why now?
Yeah, sure. So, we talked about systems, and number one, the math just adds up. I mean, let's not complicate it, okay? The math adds up. And again, when we're talking about Isagenix, I said this last night to my team, and I will talk about the fact that for the last 6 months, every Wednesday night, we have a builder's call that goes from 8:30 to like 1 in the morning. Just to throw that out there. All right. But I wanted to say that, the math adds up. And I said this last night to my team. I said, Isagenix is not a get rich quick scheme. Hold on, there's a comma. But it is a get free quick scheme. And what's so funny is I was like, Sonia's like, what keeps me up at night? This stuff keeps me up at night, okay? I have to use the sleep spray or else I'm like through the whole night. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Get rich. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it is a get free quick scheme. And I don't know about you guys, but my time has always been way more valuable than money. And so when you understand what it is that this opportunity creates, what is the result of building an Isagenix business? One of the people that have become my personal heroes in this company is a woman by the name of Betsy Frame. Betsy Frame. Anybody know Betsy Frame? If you don't know Betsy Frame, that's fine. I don't want you to call her because then I can't get through to her. So you don't call her, okay? Betsy Frame has become a hero of mine. And I've only spent, minutes with her, but her story is amazing. And here's the part that I'll share, and then I'll get back to the question. Betsy Frame has been with this company, 10, 11 years? About that. And she makes $1 million a year residually. $1 million a year residually after 11 years. Now, let's just say, this is just you and I having a cup of coffee, right? So let's just say that you're half as good as her. Let's say you're half as good as Betsy. Where in America can you go put in a good 10-year run, live healthy, build a business with your friends, make a bunch of money along the way, and then, look back after 10 years and you've got $500,000 a year coming in residually? I'll wait. Right? There ain't a lot of places you can do that. What's my point? My point is that Isagenix is a get-free vehicle. So what I tell my team is, listen, I'm not talking about making millions this year. I'm talking about helping you create $4,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000, $8,000 a month residually in the next 6 to 12 months. What would an extra $8,000 a month around your house change? I asked the guy that question one time. I said, what would an extra $5,000 change around your house? And he was like, the house. It would change the house. It would change the house. I'm saying, what would it change in your life to have an additional, $3,000, $4,000, $6,000, $10,000, $2,000 even a month coming in? And you can totally create that in less than 12 months here. In my third month, I think, Sonia, if I'm not mistaken, in my third month, I broke $8,000 in earnings and have since. So month 3, 4, 5, and 6, So I'm telling you, a 6-figure passive income in less than 90 days? Come on, y'all, what are you talking about? That's crazy talk. Okay. What was the question, Sonia?
Why Isagenix? Why now? I think you answered it.
Okay. The other thing too that really excited me was, of course, we have, the short-term money, right? Getting to executive, $5,000 to $10,000 run. Obviously, with the new bonus pools, I mean, it's almost like, and this is why I tell my team, get to executive. They ask me, Cam, what should I do today? Get to executive.
And stay there.
Absolutely.
And beyond.
But when you do that, you unlock a bunch of money that the companies put into the pools and leadership bonuses and whatnot. But the thing that really excited me about Isagenix, guys, is the forced binary residual compensation. The forced binary residual. So what is that? The fact that every enrollment within the organization serves the entire organization. Thank God for Kathy and Jim Cooper for figuring that out, because that, I'm telling you guys, is a game changer. When you look at when a new person I've got one builder direct. She's on the call today. Trinisha has been with me for 6 months. She's a director, full-time with her job, 6-figure earner. I called her up 6 months ago and I said, how many ways do you make money outside of your job? And she said, this is it. And I said, no, you're going to build a business with me at Isagenix or I'm going to kill you. I said, if there's anything that 2020 taught us, is that one stream of income is a terrible idea. And we looked up the other day, Sonia, she's got 100,000 BV, 100,000 BV sitting in her left leg holding. I don't know where your face went, Sonia, but she's got 100,000 BV. And so how did that happen? Because of the forced binary residual deal. And so when I saw that and Sonia showed that to me, I was like, dude, it's game over. So where'd she go? Anyway, so again, short term, long term, get free, leverage, and I did add something about that in my notes, and I want to stay on that. One of the things that I think is really important in the building process, and I've had builders to run fast, and then like if a consultant falls off or if somebody decides not to build with them, it kind of gets them, it throws them into a panic. But here's the thing that you have to understand: when you meet people, you have to understand, you have to know that they're not saying no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're not saying no to building a business. When we first got started, I think Sonia said, or Cal said, raise your hand if you've got somebody in your organization that's like, I ain't building a business with you. Anybody? Remember when they asked that question? Okay. Here's the thing. They don't know what they don't know. They're saying no, but they're not saying no to something that they know. They're saying no to something that they don't know. And you have to know why they're saying no. Y'all ready? Y'all tracking what I'm saying? Here's why they're saying no. Because life has beat them down. They have layer upon layer upon layer of doubt and disappointment and disbelief and failed leadership and people that have done them wrong and things that they've tried that didn't pan out. And then they show up in your world. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that are struggling to believe. It's not that they don't want it. They just don't believe it's possible because they done tried it. That's what's happening. You're running into them at a point. And if you understand what you're dealing, what you've been, it's like it was handed to you this way. And as a leader, it's your job to get them from where they are to where they have the potential to become or to be, and to help them develop the person that they have the potential to become, right? But you have to know where they are when you got them. It's like fatherhood. I deal with my 7-year-old son based on the fact that he's 7.
but I know that he has, the seed of greatness within him. And I'm helping him get there, doing my part. And it's no different with a new associate. It's no different when you find someone that has everything that it takes to win. What they don't have right now is belief. So they have to borrow some of yours. And you have to get them in an environment. Here's what I've done in my past, is leaders create an environment and a culture and an atmosphere where belief levels rise. What happens here? Belief levels rise here. And when someone starts to believe, they'll go hit executive in 6 weeks. When they believe, what do they have to believe in? Themselves. They have to believe in their leader, me, Sonia, Isa, their upline, whoever it is. They have to believe in the system. Why? Because I'm expecting you to run as if you know that when you do your part, the result that I've shared with you is going to produce. So you have to believe in me. You have to believe in the system. You have to believe in you. So what happens in our culture? Belief levels rise. Faith levels rise. Faith is what? Faith is because I believe something, I do it. It's the doing part that shows what you believe. Don't tell me you believe it, show me. That's what happens in a winning culture, is belief levels rise. Faith levels rise. You know, for those of you that do like college sports, there's a program called the Alabama Crimson Tide. These boys, listen, when you're in high school, any high school football player across the country, they would kill to get signed by Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. You know why? Because there's an expectation that, number one, they're going to win a national championship every year. And number two, they have a shot at making it in the NFL. Yesterday, there were 5 kids from that one team drafted in the first round. It's an expectation. It's a culture of winning. And we know that if we do our job, we're gonna end up, our banner's gonna end up going in the rafters. Okay. Belief levels rise. Personal growth is the bridge. Personal growth is the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. If you grow you, your business will follow. There is a talk that I would do if we had time, talking about, or that mentions the difference between building fast and building to last. Building fast and building to last. But I want you to be conscious of the things that you're doing in your business, because some things will help you build fast and some things will help you build to last. And none of us want to build a business that falls apart, right? We all want to build a business and then grow it from there, and then grow it from there, and then grow it from there, and go from, plateau to plateau, to level to level to level. And so it's imperative that you're building your business fast, but you're also building it to last. You don't want to build it only for it to fall apart. Okay? You don't want to build it only for it to fall apart and crumble. You want to build it to where every year it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And so that's important too, is be mindful, is, are you building fast and building to last? Okay. It's 1:09 Eastern. Cal, so yeah, I can do this.
I told you we could be here all day.
We could be here all day, and you two have been phenomenal. I mean, come on, some love in the chat, We do have a little bit more time. I really do feel like, the whole conversation part, right? Steps 2 and steps 3 that you talked about before, getting someone on the Zoom call and having that conversation, Sonia and Cami, if you can go into that to wrap this up. I hate to wrap it up because it's so good.
You talking about the consultation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Sonia.
Come on, Cami. I swear he knows how to do this too.
I'm just lucky, girl.
The chat box is blowing up. They're literally saying, don't end the Zoom call. So you can't go to LA tonight. So I warned you guys that you were going to listen to Cami and you were going to want a Cami Smith in your life. And you guys, it's all about showing people what's possible. You know, you don't have to teach a successful person how to be successful, right? Successful people know how to be successful. What you do need is an easy, simple way to show them what's possible at Isagenix so that you're painting the vision and that they go, this is worth my time and effort, which is exactly what Cami did. And then he ran with it. So we're getting a lot of requests to show about the Zoom call. So Cal, you're okay if I spend a little bit of time on that?
Yep, let's do it.
Give me a timeline.
Let's get, how about 10 minutes?
Okay, perfect. Okay, so like I said, the first part, Isagenix story, and it should be quick and easy, right? Not 30 minutes. Back in the day, I used to spend 30 minutes telling my Isagenix story. Who can relate to that, right? And then no one orders anything and you're like, I don't even know what just happened. I just talked about myself for 30 minutes. This should be only 30 seconds, 90 seconds is what I do. Then after that, then I say, okay, let's talk about you. What got you interested in wanting to learn more about Isagenix? Why did you reach out to me? Why did you want, what are your goals? So let's say that they say, you know what, Sonia, I would love to lose the last 15 pounds from my last pregnancy. I get a lot of that in my life. Okay, perfect. Walk me through your day. What are you doing for breakfast? What are you doing for lunch? What are you doing for dinner? How about snacks? Do you go to Starbucks every day? How often do you eat out? So I'm just trying to find what their habits are. And then I ask them, okay, with the Isagenix superfood system, you're going to replace 2 of your meals. You're going to get our amazing superfood snacks. You're going to get our cleansing system. So I want you to think about right now, how much money are you spending on 2 meals per day, your snacks, your vitamins, your coffee run. You guys, 9 times out of 10, people say $20 per day. And that's the golden number. So the next part I say is, awesome, I have great news for you. We have this system. It's called the Weight Loss Value Pack system. It's going to have your breakfast superfood shake. It's going to have your lunch superfood shake. It's going to have our amazing snacks. They are so good. It's going to have our amazing vitamins that I love so much. You're going to get everything that you need to cleanse. I know that you're going to lose those 10, 15 pounds. And if you don't, it's 30-day money back guarantee if you're not happy with your results. And it's $20 per day. So you're just shifting your food money onto Isagenix, and you're going to get this superfood box delivered to your front door. How does that sound? 9 times out of 10, people say, sounds great. I start taking the order. You're going to get 4 shakes. Are you okay with dairy, whey, or would you prefer plant-based? Do you want chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? I literally just start taking the order. I don't hesitate, you guys. If you hesitate, they hesitate. I never say, so are you ready? Like, do you want to let me know? The expectation is that if you're getting on a Zoom call with me, you're going to sign up for a value pack in that moment. That's how I always go in. If they stop me, that's a different story, right? Sometimes they stop you, but I always go for it. So then after that, after I take the order, I say, okay, now I'm excited to show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset. So that's my line, you guys, that I always use. I'll repeat it again because people seem to like it. I'm excited to show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset. Do you notice how I don't say, do you want to do the business with me? Can I show you the business? I never use the word business unless I know that they like that, right? but showing people how to turn their everyday food money into an income producing asset, nobody stops me, you guys. I think I've had 2 people stop me when I say that. But most of the time they're like, ooh, what's that? How'd you do that? They don't stop me, right? So then that's when I get my whiteboard, and I'm going to demonstrate it because people asked for it. So give me a second while I put this up. Okay. So I have my whiteboard ready to go, and I show them how the money works. And you guys, I mean, this really is simple. And like I said, you guys, like every single one of you on this call, I'm assuming that you're a serious business builder if you're spending your Friday morning with us for almost 90 minutes. So you can all master this. Isagenix story, consultation about goals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then give them a little bit about how the compensation plan works. So again, I just say, I'm excited to show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset. And then this is what I write. So you are here. Who are the 2 people that you love the most? And most people tell me, you know, mom, husband, you know, best friend. If they're having trouble answering that, I ask, like, who would be your 2 accountability partners if you were going to start training for a half marathon, you know, or who is your best friend, or who can you make do anything with you? We all have those friends that we can just make them do things with us, right? So they give me their names, and then I say, okay, and everything I map out is based on the value pack because that's normally what I sell. So then I say, okay, when you help your mom get started with the Isagenix value pack system, Isagenix pays you a $100 thank you bonus. And same for your husband. When you help your husband get started with the Isagenix value pack system, Isagenix pays you a $100 thank you bonus. Now, when you help 2 or more people in the same week, starting on Monday, ending on Sunday at midnight Eastern, that bonus doubles to $200 per person. So right there, for helping your husband and your mom get started on the Isagenix value pack system, you would have already made $400. Now you're a consultant when you do this, a crystal consultant, when you do this within 30 days, and that's an additional $100. So right there, you made $500. You almost got your pack paid for. And then I always say this, you guys, because again, you're painting the vision for what you expect, right? So then I always say, all of my happy customers do this. They all do this within a couple weeks, within the month. So again, you're normalizing it, right? You're normalizing that everybody who gets started with Isagenix grabs a couple of friends and makes some referral bonuses. And this is true for our team because we show everybody the money. Then I say, okay, now let's say your mom does the same. She helps a couple people get started with the value pack, and your husband does the same. He helps a couple people get started with the value pack. They're going to make referral bonuses depending on those packs. And you're going to make $100 for helping your mom become a consultant and $100 for helping your husband become a consultant. Now you are a crystal manager when you do this within 60 days from becoming an associate, and now you made $250. So total, almost $1,000. And again, I say happy customers do this all the time. Even my friends who at first aren't really interested, on day 5, when they feel like they swallowed a rainbow, they call me back and they say, oh my gosh, Sonia, you're right. I feel like I swallowed a rainbow. My neighbor wants to know what I'm doing. My coworker wants to know what I'm doing. Tell me about this again. And then that's that part. Now, I wanted to share something about this and then I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna keep going. So after this, Then I just move on to, now I'm going to show you how the long-term money goes, how the residual income works. Some of my happy customers stay here and they just refer their friends and family casually as it comes up. And some of my happy customers experience this and they're like, oh, let me do it again. So they keep helping people and their friends get started with Isagenix, and they help them get paid. And so now what you're doing is you're building a network of friends and family who love Isagenix, who never want to start a day without our shakes, who never want to start a day without our vitamins. I have happy customers on our team who have been here for 5 years that have never missed a month of Isagenix shakes. And they tell us that Isagenix changed their life. So you're building a network of friends and family who love Isagenix. Here's how the residual income works. When somebody in your organization is spending $150, that's 100 business volume. That's the formula. And we get paid on everybody and anybody who enters our organization. So $150, 100 business volume. When one leg is spending 600 business volume and another leg is spending 300 business volume, that's one cycle. And we get paid $54 per cycle, up to 250 cycles per week, which is $13,500 per week, which is up to $696,000 per year. This is what's called max out. Now, of course, at this point, I do give a little disclaimer. Obviously, these are some big income potentials I'm sharing. So I always say, of course, this is for the people that really run with this. This is for the people that really treat this like a business and invest time, energy. But I just want to show you what's possible. You guys, you want to show this because maybe the person who's on the other line is already accustomed to a 6-figure income like Cami was, or beyond, right? Multiple 6-figure incomes. You're not going to get their attention if you're talking about $500. You're not. I'm just being really honest. I would not have logged into my Isagenix account and learned how to enroll someone for $500. Real talk. What got me to start learning how to do this thing and master the mundane was, wait, what are we talking about here? Residual income, right? The big money opportunity. And then I end by saying, I've been with Isagenix for 6 years. In those 6 years, I've been helping my friends and family get started with Isagenix, and my network has continued to grow. And today I earn more money when I'm sleeping than if I went to work as a school psychologist every day. And do you see how that paints the vision? And then that's it, you guys. And then and I know this seems like this might take a long time, you guys. I've been able to do the 3 things that we talked about in 15 minutes. I know someone just asked, Sonia, how long is this call usually? I've done it in 15 minutes. The most standard is normally about 20 minutes. And again, you guys, it just depends, on how much people engage, I can do it in as short as 15, 20 minutes, but sometimes people are really into it and they're really engaged and they're asking me more questions. So this might take longer. And then, the part that I wanted to say that I got off track earlier is I know that there's some people that might feel like, gosh, it's way easier to send a link and not have to get on the phone and not have to do the consultation and all the things. But I'm just going to ask you, would you rather have 10 new customers per month by sending a link, and then maybe they only use Isagenix for a month and they never share and they never make any money? Or would you rather get on the phone with 10 people per month and have them with you 3 years from now, 5 years from now, still earning money, still getting paid, building big teams like Cami, right? So I just want you to think about that, you guys. So I put in the time, work, and effort in the front end. And I have found that in the long run, it's more efficient. Instead of what I've seen for so many years with so many different people, this game of, oh, when do I share my Isagenix story? When do I talk about the comp plan? You guys, if you don't do it in that initial call, if you don't do it right away, it actually gets more awkward later. And they may never get on the phone with you again. So for me, it's worth it. I have scheduled Zoom times so that I have time to do this type of thing with my personal enrollments and with my new people's personal enrollments, so that I can model and teach them how to do it. Every single executive on my team can do this, and they literally sound like me. Every time I hear Christy DeLeon do this, I think I'm watching myself. That's duplication, right? So that's it for me.
Wow, Sonia, Cami, thank you so much for spending almost 90 minutes on this call. Thank you, leaders out there, for also sticking around for this call. It's been lights out, right? Give some love in that chat to Sonia and Cami, please. This is their time to give them some love. Appreciate you both. While you guys are doing that, some quick housekeeping rules. First and foremost, disclaimers. You know, they shared some incredible things with weight loss and income. Again, these aren't typical results, right? So for more information on those disclaimers, please go to isagenixcompliance.com, click on the disclosures, and check out those income and weight loss claim statements, because these aren't typical, but these are great. Okay, Penny app. Everyone's been doing the Penny app this week. We've had a contest going on. Don't forget, it's still going on today and tomorrow. We have prizes, 5 winners per day, a gift card of $20 per winner for isasalestools.com. We have 3 grand prize winners. So those that do the most amount of tasks the entire week will get that grand prize of $100. Remember, complete a minimum of 25 tasks each day in Penny, right? And these tasks could be, you know, messages, scheduled conversations, reach outs, sharing recommended carts, even though Sonia just said it's better to have a personal conversation, which I do agree with. Following up, right? Stuff like that. They all count as daily conversations, daily contacts. Don't forget, Penny. Her name is Penny. She's here to help you. All right. And then next, the winners that we've had so far from yesterday: Amanda Wieger, Christina Montgomery, Cindy and Darren Little, Erica and Matt Zinman, and Nicoletta Gargas. You guys have won that first gift card so expect to get those through communication from the sales team. Before tomorrow, make sure that you are creating an engagement post on social media. Make sure that you're messaging at least 20 or more people, and schedule 5+ conversations, a minimum of 5. Have a goal of 10. Schedule those conversations before tomorrow's call. And tomorrow's call is with our very own Canadian North American leader, Carol Elizabeth. Again, make sure you are registering at isagenixgrow.com, have your LIA worksheet filled out, have your 30-day action plan filled out, and have your Penny app ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put in here real quick some links in the chat. I'm gonna give you guys some time to copy these links on how to properly share your story, the initial consulting on Zoom, how to talk, the training on that, and also the roadmap to critical executives. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat to go ahead and copy those, make them your favorites so you have these resources. Again, we appreciate you guys. Again, Sonia, Cami, thank you so much. We will see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget the recordings, isagenixbusiness.com/call. You can see this recording right there today. Bye, guys.